What's up, guys? Welcome to Double Chen News. It's Dan.
It's Yi.
Or Single Chen News, as some of you have been saying, because Mike is currently traveling, and you guys can follow him on his adventures on his vlog channel, and Yi is filling in.
He will be back in a couple days.
That's right. All right, dude, I laughed. I mean, this could have gone down really bad, but I'm glad this turned out the way it did. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got arrested, but you can't help but to kind of chuckle. So in San Diego last week, a Chinese family on vacation from China was basically, they were pulled over, but they didn't know they were supposed to pull over, and they basically was on like a medium speed, high speed freeway chase, and it ended up in San Diego police drawing guns on the family of three, a mom, a young child, and a father. They had the guns pointed at the family, and it was
family
crazy.
Came out and was super confused, and they were like, we didn't realize we did anything wrong. And the kid was so scared. It was a family of three, and they were driving a Honda CRV. And they came out and they were like, oh, what's going on? And then the police were like, oh, they're just like a Chinese family. It was not a danger. And so everything ended peacefully, sort of ish.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? So the family, they're on vacation from China reportedly. They didn't understand that the cops were trying to pull them over. And I mean, look, I've been pulled over a lot. Okay, unfortunately, I have in New York. I'm some kind of magnet for police. Luckily, it hasn't happened yet in California, and I hope it doesn't.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. I was literally a magnet. Last night, I was going through my old tickets. I got a lot of tickets, all right?
Yeah.
And I hate I'll tell you right now, if you guys drive, you know what I'm talking about. Especially in New York, because policemen can be rude. I mean, I respect the job they do, but look, sometimes they can be rude, especially sometimes if you don't know why you got pulled over. My most dreaded feeling, well, one of the most is, again, first world problems. I'm driving and I hear the boop, and I just go, like that moment when you realize you're getting pulled over and just like, my brain just like goes, I'm just like, oh, why is this happening to me? You're like, okay, should I make up an excuse? Should I be nice? What should I, like, you're basically like, how do I get out of this? That's the first thing you think, like.
Sometimes, even when it's not you and you see the lights flash or you hear the sound, you literally get sweaty all over. You're like, oh my God, is it me? Is it me? Like when I'm driving, I keep looking back. I'm like, oh my God, dude, please let it not be me. Please let it not be me. Please. And then usually it's not me because I am a safe driver.
Yeah, and no, I mean the other day, I hear boo, and I go, is that me? Right? I was like, look at the back, is it me? And like, I don't even know what I did, but we're trained here to react. Because you get the lights in behind you, and the worst is when you don't notice for a block or two and you're still driving, and the cop behind you is like, pull over, and then you're like, oh no.
That's the worst.
But basically, this family had no idea that, lights behind them, the cop is like, probably the cops are like, pull over.
But they're a Chinese tourist families. They probably don't know that they're even talking to them. I can totally see this happening, right? So they're driving, right? And then they kind of see the lights flashing behind them, like, oh, it's just the police. Like they probably don't even think that it's them. They're like, oh, it's just American police driving behind us. And when they hear this speaker, they probably go, oh, what does that mean? Or they're talking to us. Yeah. And then eventually they're like, wait, I think they are talking to us.
That's exactly what happened.
Wait, I think they're talking to us.
I could picture like if we were just from China, we're a little kid, and you're driving or I'm driving, and you're like, are they? 他们是我们吗? Is that us?
他们是让我们 pull over 吗？
是警察吗？ Is that the police? And then you just keep driving about 不是我们 no, it's not us.
肯定不是我们。
哦，还在我们后边。
可能是我们 because what the police said they stopped for a minute and then they kept driving.
But do you realize how suspicious that looks to the police?
I know.
The thing stops and the police is like, all right, get out, and then boom, it zoom off. So now if I'm the police, I'm like, because some people are like, yo, they overreacted. I'm like, no, they didn't. If they try to pull you over and you don't pull over, they're gonna react that way.
Well, here's what I think. Guns blazing, come on, guys. Like, this is what I think. Okay, you can chase them. You can yell at them and chase them, but the police came out with their guns pointing at the lady. So here's what the lady didn't know. So in America, when you get pulled over, you shouldn't step out of the vehicle. this isn't generally when you get pulled
Oh,
over,
no,
you
of course,
wait
no.
in the car
Right.
for the officer to come over
Right.
to you. And people who drive a lot, they know this because as you come out, make a sudden movement, the officer thinks it's dangerous because you're retrieving some kind of weapon or something. Because in America, people could have guns, you know.
But did she come out of the vehicle? Because I didn't see the footage of that.
The lady came out of the vehicle after the vehicles finally stopped.
Oh my gosh.
She wasn't the driver, so the mom came out of the
Oh my
vehicle,
gosh.
and then that's why the police had the guns blazing. And here's the thing. Still, I mean, that's kind of like, why do you guys have your guns drawn towards like somebody you don't even know, you know?
Okay, well, to play devil's advocate, I mean, this is how it is in America now, especially today, and it's very unfortunate because the tensions are so high right now. The police has no idea who's in that car.
That's true.
Door comes. Okay, first of all, if you guys know, if you live in America, you get pulled over. You put your hands on the steering wheel. You
Do not
listen
move.
to every word that the police says. Okay, just listen. Okay, whatever they say, do it. If the door swings open, this is why it ended in a really good way because you see. I mean, I was really sad at one point. I really felt sorry for the family because they really didn't know. But the police had a shotgun pointed at the mom. The mom's like, "Why are you fighting?" And then the kid is crying, wailing. Of course, it's like scary.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the police were taking precautions, obviously, and it's debatable as to does it warrant this kind of reaction.
Right.
But I would say, at least in this case, the police had the guns there and didn't immediately draw it or shoot somebody.
Right.
Because sometimes in high moments of tension pressure, or moments of unknown, like sometimes somebody will just shoot a gun.
No, all the time. I mean, it's happening every day in America. Every day in America right now, there's a story like somebody gets shot and they're in a car and there's confusion whether or not he moved or didn't move, did what the police said, didn't do. I mean, this could have ended really bad.
Yeah, and I feel like the police were kind of...
They're probably relieved.
Yeah, they were prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
But when they saw that it was just a confused family, I think they felt bad about it. I actually feel like they felt bad about it because the kid was crying, and eventually, the story ended with the police giving the little kid a high five and a little
paper badge.
A little paper badge sticker. Yeah. Although being the kid, I'd be like, "Yo, man, you traumatized me. Traumatized me. This sticker ain't gonna do nothing for me."
I'm traumatized even when I hear sirens because it's one of those things. Literally, like I have post-traumatic, and not to make fun, not to downplay people who actually do have PTSD, but anytime I hear sirens, I get the sweats because I'm like, is it me?
Yeah.
Did I do something?
Yeah, but can you even imagine getting out of the car and having like a couple, like not understanding the language or the culture of the place and getting out of the car at a place you're not familiar with, the police are pointing their guns at you, you're like, what did I do?
Right.
I mean, it must have been really terrible for this family. And here's the thing. People are like, well, how can they not know they're being pulled over, And in China, you do get pulled over.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure you do.
It doesn't happen nearly as frequently as it happens in the States, first of all. And they're just different things. In China, it's more casual.
Right.
For example, if you get pulled over, you are totally able to come out of the car and kind of like talk with the officer.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah.
Say, oh, officer, like this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. You kind of just converse casually.
Maybe you're even trying to bargain like, yo, hey.
Actually, that actually happens. Sometimes,
I'm not kidding,
sometimes bargaining happens. And there's an actual article online in Chinese telling Chinese people how to deal with police officers in America because it's different, right? In America, everyone knows kind of like don't move when you get pulled over.
Whatever they ask for, give them the license registration.
And don't argue, don't try to bribe them. Because in China, sometimes we'll be like, hey, I'll slip you a pack of smokes. Maybe you can let me off once.
Yeah.
It does happen from time to time, and depending on the city and how strict the regulations are in that city or that police department is, right? So it kind of varies in China, and the rules are kind of like a little bit.
The lines are kind of gray.
Exactly.
There's no like here. There's definitely do and do nots, right?
Yes.
And also like what you said, I feel like in America you get pulled over way more often because it's not like you just get pulled over if you're speeding. I mean, any reason you get pulled over, broken taillight. Did you know you could get pulled over? When you get a car and the license plate, it has a advertisement around. It has where you bought the car. Like it'll say Stevens Creek. It'll say whatever. Did you know that you shouldn't have that on there? That's illegal. They can fine you for it.
Oh wow!
So you could even get pulled over because you didn't. No one knows that. I didn't even know that. I got pulled over for that.
Of course,
That's how I know
these
that.
anecdotes are real. No,
That's how I know that. I'm like, oh really? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna fine you for that, whatever. And you know, it's a stupid reason, but you can get pulled over for anything. So you know, you learn that when you're driving.
Also in China, if you're kind of somebody, you can get away with a lot of things. Like a lot of times, people who kind of work in the government or people who know people in the police department, they can get away with certain things. Like they'll be like, oh, you know, I'm so and so, could you like help me out here? And usually the police officer will cooperate. Of course, it's also depending on depending on what situation it is. But here in the States, you're not gonna you're not gonna get away with that.
If you try to do that, you're going to jail. You're getting arrested.
And this is totally according to the article I was reading online that was written in Chinese, like comparing the systems, right?
Yeah, the American system versus the Chinese system.
Exactly. And you know, there's pros and cons for both. Like you really don't want to get the sweats when you hear sirens, but at the same time, you don't want to know that there's kind of this blurry line situation either.
Well, I get the sweats not because I'm afraid I'm gonna get arrested. I get the sweats because I'm gonna have to pay money. That's why I get the sweats, because I know there will be at least $100 associated with that stop, if not more. Possibly, because I've been through all of this, a suspension on my license because of accrued points over the legal amount you can get within 18 months, basically rendering you suspended. Then you gotta pay money. I mean, dude, don't even get me started. So I've been through all that. That's why I get the sweats.
Yeah, well, anyways, I feel like I can totally understand why this family did not know what they were doing was wrong.
Yeah.
They were super unfamiliar. I would say anyone who hasn't lived and drived in the States would feel confused by the system. I'm sure Europeans might be a little less confused, but they will still kind of feel a culture shock when they come to the United States.
Anyways, guys, let us know what you think about this story, and if you ever been pulled over in another country and you didn't know the laws, or if you ever been pulled over in America and you didn't know the laws as well, let us know. Bye, guys.